Psalm 19 verses 8 to 11. Your words, Lord, are spirit and life. The law of the Lord is perfect, refreshing the soul. The decree of the Lord is trustworthy, giving wisdom to the simple. The precepts of the Lord are right, rejoicing the heart. The command of the Lord is clear, enlightening the eye. The fear of the Lord is pure, enduring forever. The ordinances of the Lord are true, all of them just. They are more precious than gold, than a heap of purest gold, sweeter also than syrup or honey from the comb. Between the tent of meeting and the altar there was a basin filled with water where priests washed their hands and feet before entering the tabernacle, and again before returning to serve at the altar. The basin was placed on a pedestal, and was made of either bronze or brass. The metal was acquired by melting the highly polished metal mirrors brought from Egypt, and donated by the Israelite women. The basin was a symbol that showed that the priests need to be cleansed before entering the holy place. In time the water would get dirty, and you would no longer be able to see the mirrored finish at the bottom of the basin. We need to remember that we, just like the priests who serve the congregation, are human beings, and all of us have the dirty water of sin in our lives, that needs to be cleaned up. As Catholics we have two basic forms of sin, mortal and venial. Mortal sin is knowing and willfully violating God's commandments in a serious matter, for example, idolatry, adultery, murder, slander. If we die without repenting, we will lose God for eternity. However, by turning back to Him, and receiving the sacrament of penance or reconciliation, we are restored to His friendship. Catholics are not allowed to receive communion if they have unconfessed mortal sins. Sins are sometimes venial but can become mortal based upon the severity. If you gossip about a person in trivial matters, that would be a venial sin, but if you gossip about a person with the intent of destroying their reputation, that would make the gossiping sin a mortal sin. The Catechism of the Catholic Church section 2303 tells us, deliberate hatred is contrary to charity. Hatred of the neighbor is a sin when one deliberately wishes him evil. Hatred of the neighbor is a grave sin when one deliberately desires him grave harm. Since we all have a tendency to sin, how do we clean up the dirty water of our sinful life? Reading the Bible is a good place to start. It gives us the opportunity to rediscover God's truth and the perfection of His Word. Availing yourself of the sacraments such as attending Mass might clear away venial sins. Availing yourself of the sacrament of reconciliation and confessing mortal or venial sins would certainly restore your friendship with God. Verse 7. The law of the Lord is perfect, refreshing the soul. The decree of the Lord is trustworthy, giving wisdom to the simple. We often think of law as somehow restricting, or limiting our options. Not so, laws can be very freeing. David learned to view God's laws as freeing, and that view enabled both David and ourselves to be proud of ourselves for doing the right thing. Thinking about adultery? Read 2 Samuel chapter 11 and following about what happened to David and his family as a result of his infidelity. Bet you change your mind quickly. That's the beauty of the Bible. It's a roadmap to heaven and shows you how others strayed from the road, and the resulting problems caused by their wandering. 1 Corinthians chapter 10 verses 10 to 13. No temptation has overtaken you that is not common to man. God is faithful, and He will not let you be tempted beyond your strength, but with the temptation will also provide the way of escape, that you may be able to endure it.